Good day. This is Doc, back with you again with Adventures in Africa with Doc. Thank you for joining us. I really enjoy these interactions with our audience and appreciate your faithfulness showing up every week to hear what's going on here in this beautiful continent of Africa. My wife and I have lived here off and on for 20 years, as most of you know, and a few of you are new in my audience, and I really welcome you, and I hope you'll keep coming back now and again just to continue enjoying the adventures that people that come and visit us in Africa and run across my path will bring them to you every week, and you'll hear their stories. Today, we are blessed with a couple, Ken and Bonnie. I've known these two for probably close to 20 years. They've been serving our ministry for more than 15 years, and they've actually spent lots and lots of time right here on our campus in beautiful South Africa. I believe that this is their 10th time to come and visit with us. And each time they come, they don't come on a typical 2-week mission trip. They come and they stay, and they'll stay most of their 90-day visa. And so they've got 10 years of experience with Blessman International on our campus. And we don't have a lot of time today, but we'll hear some of their experiences of what's happening in their lives relating to Africa. But first, we just want to get to know you. So introduce yourself. Let's start with you, Ken. We'll do guys first today. Just give us your name and a little bit about you and whatever's on your heart.
Okay, we've been, my name is Ken Newton. I grew up in Midwest in Iowa, went to college in Iowa. Worked for John Deere for about 20 years. And then when we retired, decided we wanted to do something, wanted to make a difference somewhere. And we heard about what Doc was doing. We got in a group trip with our church, and we kind of liked it. So that's really our primary mission focus.
You guys were very helpful in helping us get connected and get connected deeper with Lutheran Church of Hope. And what a blessing that church has been to us. They actually funded a good share of our beautiful Leroy Blessman Lodge of Dreams, where all the mission teams get to stay. So it's an amazing, wonderful church, and they've supported our ministry for, I think, about 15 years now. So it's been an incredible journey. Bonnie, what do you usually do when you're here in Africa?
Well, I'm kind of what you call an organizer. So what I do is a little bit of that and a little bit of this. But I feel like is that whatever I do to help the children. So I find things that need to be done and I do them. So I'm behind the scenes more of the time. And then I do, like if a problem arises, a lot of times because of my advanced years, I have a little bit more wisdom I have some wisdom that others I can impart. And so I usually help with whatever problems that I see or whatever problems that come up. So
I remember in years past, you were amazing at your culinary work and all that you did helping feed our mission teams. In fact, I think we named our kitchen in the lodge Bonnie's Kitchen.
Yes, and I have a cup. My kitchen, my rules.
Yeah. And then we fired you from that job.
Yeah, I got fired.
Not because you were doing a poor job, but because we got some excellent full-time staff to come in and really do a great job. But you were amazing back in the day when our staff, we worked with a skeleton staff. Yeah. And it was you and I and Ken and Beth and not too many more. Yeah. And we would have big teams come and we would host them and have a wonderful time. We've been blessed over the years that our staff has grown and they're just wonderful. I know this time I've watched you focus, both of you, a little more on what's going on at Del Kramer. And maybe you could share today some of the things you've done this trip and in recent trips to just help us do a better job at Del Kramer Children's Campus.
Do you want to go?
Sure. Well, this year we've been focused on trying to create a greater engagement with the teams, to give them a better opportunity to personally get to know the kids and to understand better what they do. We noticed over the years that they go and they enjoy it and they enjoy the kids, but we feel like they leave without really sensing all that happens there and all the things that are being done. And we've been trying to build the opportunities for them to get deeper into a knowledge of how the kids are helped, of the different things that happen, and just the progression of all the things that have been done there over the years, the way we keep adding on layer of things that help these kids and help them grow and give them a chance in an environment that's in a lot of ways fighting against them.
Yeah. I know you and I were sitting in the lodge last night just going over the history of Del Kramer.
Yeah.
And Del Kramer's been there, I would guess, about 16, 17 years. And early on, it started as just a simple feeding program. Here in Africa, we call them feeding schemes. And that sounds like a bad word in America, but we have a feeding scheme. And we started feeding 25 children many years ago. And we selected those children by going around to the surrounding primary or elementary schools. And there are 3 in the village. And we asked each school to give us their 25 most needy or vulnerable children. We ended up with a list of 75 children. Then we sat down with some social workers with the Department of Social Development, and we went over all of those 75 children and selected the 25 absolutely most needy children in the village where we were working. It's a tribal village near Mokopani. And that's how we started. We started feeding kids. We started feeding them 5 days a week. And a couple of weeks into it, my wife and I, we were just kind of reflecting on what we had accomplished and what was going on. And we noticed that it was so quiet on Saturday and Sunday. We had a beautiful facility where we were feeding kids, and we thought, we could have church in that open area where we're feeding kids. And 2 weeks later, we had our first church service. We invited a local pastor to come and give a sermon in addition to what he would give at his church. And that church has met every Sunday for the last 15 years. It started just in 2 weeks planning, and we've grown to a beautiful, wonderful lighthouse Christian church. And you guys were around, I think, almost all of those years.
Quite a few.
Tell us a little more about the child sponsorship. You guys know more about our child sponsorship program than I do. And it's something I would like our audience to learn about. We're sponsoring a child of our own for our granddaughter. My wife manages most of that. I still have a lot to learn about it. But tell us what you guys know about it.
Well, we got to meet her the other day.
Good.
Yeah, so we got to meet her.
And is she enjoying the Bridgely app?
I think so. I think very much so.
Tell us how the Bridgely app works.
Okay, Ken, you're more an expert on than I.
Well, the Bridgely app is a way of, first of all, following what is going on with the kids at Del Kramer. They give recordings and they provide information about what the kids are doing, but it's also a way of getting to know the kids. There are recordings out there that you can see the kids and get to know the kids. And if you're so inclined and you understand the difference that Del Kramer is making, you can sponsor a child on the Bridgely app, where you would help provide for what it takes to support that child and maintain an ongoing regular communication with that child, where you would send messages to the child and get a message back from the child via the over the app. So it can be a video communication. There are people there who will help if there are translation issues. Some of the kids aren't old enough yet that they speak English well. And you can develop that personal understanding of what's happening in their lives on a regular, ongoing basis. And it's really a nice way to stay in touch with the difference that you're making, and to support the whole organization, to give these kids a place to become all that God would have them be.
And I really think not only will they get to know one child through this, they'll get to know something about all the children in the center, what's going on, that sort of thing. Once a month, we have a birthday party for all the kids that have had a birthday. And we can do live chats with that and just really help people back in America feel more and more a part of what's going on here in Africa. So it's fairly new for us. It's $44 a month. And I think you have to pay monthly rather than annually so far. but it's really looking to be like it's going to be exciting and something wonderful. We have 250 children at Del Kramer. We're starting with those children, and once we get it up and running well, we're actually going to be feeding about 50,000 children. I don't even have a hope or a dream of sponsoring 50,000 children, but we got a lot of room that we can grow.
And I will add, Doc, that you mentioned that it can all be done on your phone. And for those of us who are older and don't use our phones as actively as the young folks do, there is an app coming out on the computer.
I've heard about that, and I'm excited about it. In fact, my wife Beth and we were talking last night. She's been doing it on the phone, and I said, now that we can do it on our computer, let's set up my computer, and I'll get involved too, because I'm older than you. I use a smartphone, but I'm not nearly as smart as the phone is. You guys have had some kind of wonderful experiences above and beyond the mission work you do. I know it's the mission work that draws you back here and why you work so hard, but let's talk a little bit about some of the fun you've had. I think you made it up to Victoria Falls one year.
We did.
Tell us about that.
Well, we decided to go to Victoria Falls. Knew nothing about it. Found a place to stay, and we found it to be just an incredibly nice, pleasant place to be. I mean, the falls themselves are the real attraction. And by the way, any of you who decide you want to go to the falls, when they tell you that they will give you a raincoat and an umbrella and you don't understand why,
And you don't
take
think
them.
you need
You
them.
need them.
You need them very much so.
I remember when I went. Maybe we were there together one time. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, I've been there, I think, 3 times. And I got soaked to the bone, and the only thing I had with me was my passport, and it actually got soaked too. But what an experience! It's one of God's wonders of the world. So happy you guys got to experience it, and I really wish more and more people that came on mission trips with us would actually extend their trip and take advantage of some of these beautiful things that we have just in our backyard. It's such an incredible place that God has planted us here at Blessman International.
Doc, if I can add,
Please.
We've done Kruger.
Tell us about Kruger.
Which is a tremendous experience. The animals that they find and what the information that they give you about what's going on and tell you, you just learn so much about the animal environment here. We've been to Cape Town 3 times.
The garden route.
We drove the garden route from Cape Town to Port Elizabeth. Beautiful. It's just a beautiful place. All the different things we found to do along the way.
And then the Chobe Desert and
Victoria
Falls, where we saw the elephants go across, and there was this little baby elephant, and we'd see him come in, and then pretty soon we couldn't see him except for his trunk that was up there, and you could just see his trunk above the water. There was nothing else. That was just such an experience.
And you and I have been dreaming about a famous train ride across Africa.
Yeah.
We haven't done that, but tell us what you found.
Well, there's a railroad. It used to be Rhodesia Rail Line, I think was the name of it originally, but it's been reconstituted here. And it's the old English, very comfortable, all wood interiors, wonderful, go in an elegant way around the world. And it travels different places, Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, Pretoria, up to Victoria Falls, and several other stops. And it's just a relaxing way to go out and experience that. They go very slow. They have places that you can stop and visit different sites to see. And it's just a relaxing, enjoyable, elegant way of seeing the world.
I'm very excited about the potential we may get to do that next year. The downside is it's fairly expensive, and I don't think you have Wi-Fi on the train, and you have to dress up in a coat and tie. Not really my style, but I am kind of excited about having that experience one time in my life.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
One thing I could add to that, we've been coming for 10 years. And for maybe up to 3 months a year most of the time. And we're just beginning to learn how much we didn't know about the culture
Yeah.
and the customs. And I mean, one of the things was talking with the kids. We've always wondered, the kids would always stay, and we thought they were kind of afraid of us.
Yeah, shy.
And we finally learned that no, in this culture, the kids are not allowed to approach you unless you initiate the interaction. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
And we're trying to teach the teams these things about how do you reach out to these kids? How do you get to know them? How do you get them to interact and engage with you? And that's just made a tremendous difference in this last team.
Yeah,
They've,
it really did.
It does. And it's really honoring the people here if we learn about their culture and participate in it as much as we can, because the cultures are quite different.
Yes.
And that's one of the beauties of getting to travel anywhere in the world. You learn a different culture, and it just enriches your life. So I and my wife really appreciate you two. It's been amazing to work with you for 10 years, and I'm so happy that God caused our paths to cross. And
So are we.
you've definitely enriched our life. You've definitely helped so many of the children here in South Africa, and they know you.
Yeah.
You come back year after year, and they remember you, and they appreciate you. And even our full-time staff, they appreciate you. So it's been quite a journey, and I hope we have many more years
I sure hope so too.
to do this together. Any final thoughts that you want to communicate to our audience?
You know, the one thing that I don't feel gets mentioned often enough, and Bonnie can comment it better than I can, is the wonderful work that the staff here does, especially people
they
like Isabel and Pastor Jonathan and Pastor Johanny, with the kids and especially the girls, and the difference they make in their lives. They can be very marginalized in this culture, and they are doing so much to build these girls up. Bonnie, if you have anything you want to.
And the landing program is just such a good program for this, because they get to, these girls come up and they see Isabella as their mother figure.
Yeah.
And they're living at like a hostel with the school, boarding school. So Isabella is there to teach them, and you see them coming up to Isabel with all their problems and that, and otherwise they'd be going to each other, and you never know what advice they're going to get from each other. But we just see how wonderfully the staff works, Johanny and Isabel and Pastor Jonathan, how much they do with the kids, and how the kids want to, like we did an ambassador, we were talking to this little girl at Del Kramer, and we started talking about the landing, and it was like, I kept thinking, we gotta go, because she just wanted to go on and on and on about it, and she was wonderful. I mean, and you just see that love, and you see that generated from what's going on, and it just warms our heart.
Mine too. You're giving me some good ideas. I've got to get Isabel and Johanny and Jonathan on a podcast and let our audience hear directly from them. But they're doing incredible work. And they basically are mentoring and parenting these children. And there's a just absolute void in that. And so many of the kids here in South Africa.
You know, Doc, I read something the other day that Beth gave me that one of your board members here wrote, Steve. And there was one word that he kept using in what he wrote about his life experiences here. The word was vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that really touched me, because even with these girls and with the kids, that's the one thing you feel, is that they're so vulnerable. Even when they're winning, they're on a knife's edge, and they could fall either way, to success or to failure or to worse. And we kind of feel that this ministry is doing all it can to make that difference, to keep them falling in the right direction.
Yep.
So that they don't lose, because they are so vulnerable.
Yes.
Everybody pushes us to make every program we have sustainable, and we do the best we can. And I know our programs are more sustainable now than they were 20 years ago, but they just require constant input. And our staff, if we all stopped and quit doing what we're doing, a few of the things would go on for a while. But sustainability is it's a difficult one. Yeah. And we will continue pursuing it, but we still got a ways to go. Fortunately, our ministry has another generation in the wings so that we are hoping and planning to be here for at least another 20, 30 years.